Ball Breaker Reborn is actually the number 2 seed in this tournament. So although some of the names aren't as recognizable in the amateur scene as Shot and Corgi Booty, I wouldn't underestimate them. It looks like they have been on a bit of a roll themselves, and you never underestimate when you're on a roll. I've made some plays that I would never make in a million years when you're up on it and you're hyping. So
Yeah,
we're
when,
gonna
when you're
see.
feeling it, you're feeling it. Like,
Yeah,
put me in the zone, put me in the
yeah.
match. Let's win some hots.
Put me on Kerrigan on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Not me personally, but let's see if we get something along those lines. Alarax and Kerrigans have sort of been cropping up as the combo-based assassins have sort of been re-rising to prominence here.
So I think 100% they're going to put their focus back on Johanna. I do play Johanna a lot, and I find this to be one of her best, if not her very best map to play her on. Her wave clear is insane, and Tomb of the Spider Queen, at times, that is the name of the game, especially up until level 10. You need that Johanna in the rotations helping you out a bit. Maiev continues to be a ban priority for TIAA. You see it here again in round number 3. On the other side, it's Genji taken away by Ball Breaker Reborne.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think there's no warrior that really holds a candle to Johanna on this map. Yes, Murid and Garrosh are powerful in their own way, but the advantages that Johanna creates here, grouping up the creeps, being a really good target for holding all of your gems. She rotates well. She rotates in a 4-man well. I mean, she just does everything well that this map requires. So we have an ETC and then a Mal'Ganis ban. That ETC ban, kind of weird, if you ask me.
A little weird, but they stopped banning Blaze and instead they take it for themselves. We saw them ban it out in the opening 2 rounds. Here they go. Number 1 pick is Blaze, but Medivh. We saw the ban from Reborn last round. This time Ball Breaker Reborn says we're going to pick it. So it's developed, especially I've cast this event in the past and I've seen Medivh make plenty of appearances and it continues to be a play. And Malthael is well going to be picked up here, who's a great counter for that solo lane up against Blaze.
Yeah, very good counter against Blaze, although it's kind of a strange trade-off because the Blaze bunker does work particularly well against last rites. But if you can start to stack your last rites, the Blaze bunker has a much longer cooldown now, so if you can sort of undercut that cooldown a bit, you can create an advantage for yourself. Tyrande and Junkrat still a powerful hero, continuing to be powerful all along, but not as highly prioritized these days. But lots of wave clear, ability to rotate later on, very powerful once you get that 13 talent, I believe it is, where you can jump around with your mines. Interesting and kind of a non-committal composition, I have to say, so far.
I gotta assume it's gonna be Treebeard playing the ultra range again. This time Junkrat, but we saw the Chromium, we saw the Hammer, and this time potentially he's on that Junkrat. Stukov and Zul picked up, so this is looking like double support Zul tank all the way.
Yeah, this is a wacky comp, and let's see if TIAA has sort of picked up on some shenaniganry like this. Stukov going to be able to get a lots of value, especially if it's a double support situation like you talked about. The silence pool very strong on this map. There's so many small choke points. Let's see what TIAA has prepared. Yrel Mephisto. So a Yrel Blaze frontline, sort of a dual frontline, no true quote main tank. Into the Malthael could be difficult, but Mephisto and Junkrat probably just looking to penetrate onto the backline, get a lot of damage onto the Stukov, I would imagine. Not really certain what the exact fight tactics.
We're looking at a potential consume souls plus last rites combo. Lunara is the final pick, so indeed there is no traditional warrior in this comp. It's going to be Zul, going to be trying to stay alive with the help of Medivh and Stukov. Of course, Malthael gets some self-sustain for himself. Lunara, the final pick, and really just a siege master is Lunara, so she's coming in, going to try to fight up against this Yrel Blaze frontline, but Blaze being used by Shot, which means this is going to be a main tank Blaze. Very unorthodox on both sides, but Mephisto, will he be enough up against this Malthael? What are your thoughts here?
I don't know. I really think it hinges a lot on Legacy on Tyrande, but after what we saw in Game 1, Legacy is really on point hitting those Lunar Flares. I feel like Lunar Flare is going to be the defining move in this fight. Because if you look at Stukov, the ability for Lunar Flare to shut down Zul, Lunar, and Stukov and Malthael and just make them so vulnerable is extremely high. With the continual damage output from Junkrat, Mephisto, and Blaze, I mean, Blaze can continue to pump out poke damage, so it's going to be very interesting. The Lunara style plays a little counterintuitive to the Medivh, I feel like, so I'm not sure if that was a last minute pivot or what, but the honest answer is I'm not sure. Both comps are so odd. I lean towards TIAA, but we'll have to see.
Well, let's introduce these teams. On the left-hand side in blue, it is Ball Breaker Reborne. Old Miracle playing Stukov. Giant RT, he's on the Tank Zul. Alexis 007 on Lunara. Mexicano 96, he's playing the Malthael. And up in the sky in Raven form, it's Kronos on Medivh.
And on the right side, we've got TIAA. On Junkrat is going to be Fancy Pants. Legacy once again coming in on Tyrande. Treebeard on Mephisto this time, not playing the Junkrat like we originally thought. Corgi Booty on a Comfort in Yrel, and Shot playing the main tank Blaze. Let's see if he can execute the way Blizzard wants Blaze to be played, essentially, that's what they're saying.
So it's Treebeard on the Mephisto, not on the Junkrat, so not going for that super range. He's going to play super aggressive on this Mephisto. Already looking to finish off Kronos on Medivh, but not able to get the finishing blow. Kronos will survive for now, but early game, you saw the dominance in that team fight, but I mean, that was all in favor of TIAA. They pushed them all the way back to Wells. So got those taps out early, and now a big jet propulsion right on top of that portal. First blood of the game, and Shot showing that Blaze can be a main tank.
I am straight pog facing off camera right now because we do have a pause coming in. 1 sec. Did you see? He precast the jet propulsion. The portal came down and Shot was like, I'm just going to jet propulsion at this empty portal real quick. And he did it, and then appeared the enemy team. They came walking right through directly into it. It was like a thing of absolute beauty. It's a beautiful thing to watch. But the reads coming out early for TIAA, that's just good play. I feel like compositionally, this Lunara and Malthael with the Medivh is a little bit counterintuitive. They want to play poke, they want to play the long game, and then Medivh, although the portals do enable good escapes, it plays into more of a burst style, I feel like, or a burst prevention style, and I feel like the way the fights are going to play out in this game are going to be very poke and poke oriented. Just they're going to be wearing down the long fights. So we'll see if Medivh can really get that value they're looking for. They are being aggressive on the bottom lane, pushing Corgi Booty out from this turn in, but they're not looking to turn in any gems themselves.
So, of course, we got that early reset on Arcane Rift, a talent that is going to be crucial for Ball Breaker Reborne to complete if they want to have any chance of winning some of these fights. A lot of damage is going to have to come out from Medivh. Jumping on this is Corgi Booty. He's on that Yrel. Inside a silence pool from Stukov. They got to find a way to interrupt it, but they're not going to be able to. Or will they? Shot with another great jet propulsion, but this time pays with his life, pays with his gems on the ground as well. And that's going to be the first kill of the game for Ball Breaker Reborne.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of an advantage they would have actually picked up from getting that siege camp. But again, feels like the last game where Shot did die, but it's essentially the same trade as if you gave up the camp without any contention. So, looking fairly even. Maybe those 10 gems enabled to be turned in for BBR there, but it looks like Zul's going to have a good push top. He's got 19 gems on his person and is going to be looking to turn in top here.
I don't think Shot gets here in time unless he got that. Yes, he does. Giant RT interrupted on the point. Still holding on to 19. Treebeard, he's up top. working on getting some more gems and some of that clear in the top lane. But right now, mid lane, Bruiser Camp pushing down from Ball Breaker Reborne. They're going to stand in this spell armor and try to siege onto this front wall of this mid fort, it appears. But here comes Shot from the top side along with Treebeard on that Mephisto, trying to prevent any damage to this wall, and they're going to do just that, but they do leave open opportunity to get some of these gems in for Ball Breaker Reborn, and that's going to put them at 41 out of their 50. A sizable lead right now in this early game turn-in objective.
Yeah, now TIAA getting more aggressive. The jet propulsion coming through, dishing out a lot of damage on the Chronos. Protected by the way, he does get healed up. But like I said, now that your immunity has been used, here comes the Lunar Flare and Giant RT taking lots of poke from Treebeard. Treebeard being aggressive as always, looking for the turn-in themselves. But Ball Breaker Reborn can kind of play it casually now. They have more gems turned in. They can make sure they get their soak, get their gems. Ooh, big silence arrow and root coming out to Junkrat, but the self knock away with the mine. Extremely well executed by Fancy Pants. Treebeard taking a lot of damage, but not quite enough. Giant RT moving in too far, but then the deep shield coming out, he is going to be able to walk away. So again, similar to last game, lots of poking, lots of back and forth. Like I just said, it's a sort of a game of attrition here.
Another great route here by Zool. Silence follow-up from Old Miracle playing the Stukov. Shot able to walk away on his own 2 feet. Didn't need any help from his team that time. But we're still looking at 47 gems down bottom. Lunara cashing them in. And Alexis 007 gets the job done in true James Bond fashion. Little sneaky move in the bottom side. Giant RT falling low. That's a concussion mine, knocking Zool right into the grass with some of these members from TIAA, and they get the kill. Treebeard now, he's trying to phase himself in there, but they got the kill they needed, and now are going to have a little bit easier of a time cleaning up these web weavers.
That's sort of exactly what you want if you are going to concede the turn-in. Look for that pick immediately. You usually only have about a 7-8 seconds of opportunity to find the pick. They do manage to chain the CC together to pick off Zool there. Treebeard, a bit far forward, has 15 gems, needs to be careful with about 30% HP. But like we said, all the web weavers already at about a half HP. They're going to get some front wall and experience lead here, but not too much more of an advantage than that. A little bit of an XP advantage, a little bit of a level 10 advantage. Oh, Fancy Pants almost getting picked, but this self-mine again and a Lunar Flare to ensure his safety. Wow, Stukov too far forward, taking shots from the tower. There's no defending creeps there, and we did miss Malthael actually diving in, picking off Yrel on his own. That can't be good.
You see Fear, or Shot again, without any fear, trying to jet propulsion into these portals, just expecting people to walk through them, but past few, no one coming through the doors. So I love the aggression and really the stylistic play on that Blaze, trying to make it happen, shut down this engagement. But it seems to me like Ball Breaker Reborn, like they're almost expecting it at this point, that Shot's just going to try to charge right at the portals. Now we see Old Miracle up top trying to solo a boss on his Stukov. Zool nearby, here comes Lunara. And they will try to get this. They do have level 10 advantage. We see the Polybomb, that is the, what is this called? Flailing Swipe, of course, from Stukov. And we have, of course, Leaping Strike from Lunara, which I think will be a great play, trying to get, especially once his bunker's been dropped, some extra damage out on top of it from their Lunara.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with how you play main tank Zool. I would imagine the Skeletal Mages is the pick. Treebeard getting run down, has 23 gems, needs to be careful, gets his Shade of Mephisto off, but he's going to be body blocked. He's not going to make it. 23 gems falling in the top lane. Corgi can jump over the wall and grab that, actually. No defense. Picks up 22 of those gems that were dropped. The boss will probably go over now to BBR, but I mean, good play by Corgi being right there on the ground, not losing a ton of gems And
fully
now,
scouted. I mean, both teams know what's going on here, and inside the pit are both these teams. Shot getting rooted in by Zool, drops the bunker. Boss gonna slam it. Now the bunker's almost down. Shot knocked out. Portal's on top. There's Consumed Souls. Not gonna finish anyone off, but Giant RT, he's on Zool, and he is down. This boss, though, doing a lot of damage to Yrel. Ardent Defender coming out. Shot stuck in there. Barely misses that boss stun. 21 gems on him. And is he gonna go down? He needs one more heal from Tyrande. Gets it. And with that double kill, did the boss actually leash? It did not. So
wow.
a boss steal from TIAA. They still have gems on hand and are going to get a huge advantage in this fight. Big jet propulsion again from Shot. Needs to get supported once again. Will survive. Old Miracle in a tough spot. Walks through his own portal. But what a crazy couple minutes there that just popped out, Fear.
Yeah, Shot, I mean, the amount of micro, I was just watching him as intently as I could. The amount of micro he had to nail to not get hit by that boss stun and everything there was extremely well done. Last Ride coming out on Treebeard along with a double leaving strike, but not quite enough damage. Sharonda really making sure that Treebeard is fine, and that's a lot of resources invested into trying to get that pick. Top 4 is going to only take about half its HP in damage, but I mean, just as far as mechanically executed, top tier there. That was, you know, something that you would expect to see from HGC players. Really well done and deservedly taken away. I don't think BBR was quite ready for that level of coordination between Blaze and Tyrande. Treebeard now getting the Bone Prison out onto him. The Lunar Flare does not connect. Corgi Booty needs to make sure that he's careful. He does not have his ultimate available. He did go Ardent Defender, correct? Yes, he did.
Oh,
okay, now we have an
again.
engagement.
Really, the big story right now, oh wow, they found a spot where that shield wasn't available. Force of Will was down, but that Riptire not able to finish off anyone, so another heroic wasted. Consumed Souls was an option. Surprisingly so, we didn't see Treebeard rip it there because the health bars were very low. Probably could have found some value. Jet Propulsion missing again. But really, the story right now, Fear. The boss, the turn-in, and no forts down. And now look at this counter engagement coming out from Ball Breaker Reborn. Bunker going to be played, keeping people alive for now. Corgi Booty, 30 health, being chased down by Mouthfeel. But Ardent Defender negates the last rites, and he gets all his health pool back.
That was so well played. The bunker by Shot. Corgi Booty getting into the bunker last minute, not losing any of their gems. It just feels like the last game. They're like clawing on, somehow just making the plays. They don't feel like... Last game, I felt like they had the compositional advantage and Reborn was sort of fighting their way and hold the phone for that. Shot, again, too far forward, but there's no such thing for Blaze. And now dishing out a lot of damage in the counter fight here. Shot's going to fully back. Corgi Booty does need to be careful. 32 gems there. Small little portal coming out. Polymorph trying to get the finish off onto Corgi Booty. Yeah, the mass poly move there. A lot of resources, again, invested in trying to take those gems away from Corgi Booty. Not necessarily a bad investment, but I feel like TIAA is fighting uphill compositionally here as far as the team fights, but they are executing time and time again. Lunar Flare connects onto Alexis 007 to interrupt. Treebeard just continually poking as well. Shot just saying, I'm going to turn in 3 gems right here for, I'm not really sure what reason, but a lot of poking. These kind of games give me anxiety. Shot getting very far forward.
Trouble this time. Had to use bunker. Great job with that Riptire. The Consumed Soul's not an option right now. Old Miracle, you don't have a portal, my friend. Stukov stuck at the fort right now of TIAA, and he's down. A little mistiming with the portal maneuvering, but it will be a turn-in for your blue team. Ball Breaker Reborn with the waves pushed up. They had that siege camp pushing for the longest time down in the bottom. Huge minion wave up top. Web Weavers spawning. But we're dead even on XP. A little bit of a lead right now, 5-3 for kills in favor of TIAA. But they're mid-fort. It's going down right here, right now, Fear.
Yeah, this mid-fort is going down, but really what is BBR going to force? Otherwise, Stukov is just coming up now, unless they catch Fancy Bans. The Polymorph coming out, and the last strike. That is not quite enough. He lives with 200 HP. Kronos getting away on the back end. We have the ult coming out from Malthael, and Mexicano's taking lots of damage. Shot goes down. What I was saying is Stukov is running back. If you're going to push up way past the fort line on this map, you're going to have to wait for Stukov. They get the TIAA gets the pick relatively early, and they're going to be able to defend all these web weavers without losing a keep. They did lose the bottom keep wall, although it looks like BBR is going to continue to be a little bit aggressive. No, they're going to back away. And so really 2 integral picks showing that TIAA knows how to diminish the effectiveness of the objective on this map. And that's you let your opponent get it and then immediately get some ganks. It really works on every map, but they did it so well here 2 times in a row, and they're actually ahead on experience.
Yeah, we're going to be really close making it to level 16. Both teams getting bruiser camps out at the same exact time. The gem counts right now is a big story as we see TIAA with a huge lead. Fancy Pants looking for the turn-in, but even the Sky, will he drop down? No. So red web weavers. The boss was available, wasn't looked at by either team, but will be available right after this web weaver phase. Here comes an engagement. You got 2 spell armors on each side, but the red team going to take the lead so far, as these web weavers are pushing down the lanes as we speak. Jet Propulsion hitting on Lunara, follow-up stun, and the Riptire. We'll find anything. Zool, he's the one who's kind of stuck, but he's got some armor. He's able to push back, and Corky Booty not able to get the job done. But the mid fort's finally down. Web Weaver shows up here, and TIAA looking to really make some malice happen onto these structures right now, because no one's responding top, no one's responding bottom. They're pushing this mid and trying to find a keep right now.
Yeah, this is the opposite situation as before. They are all up. They have the members of BBR, battered and bruised. Cordy Booty getting hit by the Bone Prison. Protected goes out onto Zool, and the ult's going to come out from Mephisto, just forcing BBR back there, looking for this keep. The web weaver is falling low, but look at top and bottom. Oh wow, the waves are piling up, and Stukov gets picked off again by Shot, just playing out of his mind on Blaze. Malthael falls. Now TIAA possibly looking to shut it out. I don't think they're going to be able to do that. They don't really have, and they do have the wave coming in. They're going to take this mid fort for sure. I think they're going to rotate top or bottom. Yeah, look at Fancy Pants jumping right over the wall. They're going to be looking for top keep as well. Another 22 seconds before Malthael comes up. This could possibly be a triple keep play, but actually the counter poly coming out. Mephisto gets picked. That's gigantic for BBR.
Yeah, that was quite the poly bomb right there to finish off your Mephisto. But let's take a look around. Boss available on the map. Gems are still in favor of TIAA. They got 56 on hand, 4 away from finding their 3rd turn-in of the game. Down bottom, Zool getting a huge collection of those blue gems. But they still need another 29 in order to start making that turn-in happen. And with all these in the bank already, 44 for TIAA, they just got to wait around, play the map a bit. They got the catapult pressure mid. That's huge for them in this setup. And really, the boss right now, one of the only options available for Ball Breaker Reborne to find themselves a way back into this game. They're going to start it, but it's instantly scouted by Tyrande, and you saw what happened the first time. They can't just take this fight. It didn't work out the first time, and I'd imagine that if you're TIAA, you're not afraid to walk right back in here for round number 2.
Yeah, between the bunker and the Riptire, I just don't think you can take it here. Alexis already taking so much damage. It's not really a good idea, but I do think it's one of the only things that BBR can do. Look at the camp pushing bot. They have the catapult starting to come in mid. Now they just have to rotate away and sort of clear. And when you're doing that, you're playing more into letting your opponent get level 20. They also have enough gems for the turn-in. It's kind of a nightmare scenario. You have to force something. You do have a team that's good at poking and stopping the turn-in here, but I'm just looking at this bot siege camp slowly marching up. Zool's rotating away now, so you both have to prevent the turn-in, force a fight, and clear the waves. It's just almost impossible.
And watch for them to engage right now. They see that Zool bottom. Shot's pinging. He's saying, let's go, let's go. Let's find a killer. Let's find this turn-in. Shot's the one who's representing that turn-in. He's got to get those 15 in. And he's going to start the channel right now, but Mexicano is going to say, no, I'm not letting you in to do that. But he could find himself in trouble. Is Jet Propulsion available? Do they want to take the fight What a great flailing swipe from Old Miracle, keeping his mouthfeel alive in that play. Portal's now down. Corgi trying to stop at anyone coming through. No one walks in it though. Giant Artis, frontline Zool, still looking for damage. Bunker dropped by Blaze. The damage coming on top of Giant Artis. Zool is down from that Riptire. Consumed Souls on the backside, but blocked off by that Force of Will from Medivh. So Malthael survives, but they're not giving up quite yet. Last rites on the other side, though. Blaze is down without a bunker. Now Corgi Booty on his rail has to pop Hardened Defender, and the turnarounds happening. Alexis and Chase on Lunara. He's hopping around left and right. Legacy could go down here, and quite certainly will. That's a dead Tyrande. A double kill in the turnaround from Ball Breaker Reborne, keeping themselves in this game, and now are going to find themselves a boss here 18 and a half minutes into Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yeah, that fight just going on for so long. The Lunara and the Malthael's damage just really prevailing. Mexicano totally out of mana. He's probably going to have to back after this. Fancy Pants and Treebeard looking to disrupt this boss attempt, and if anyone can do it, I think it would be Junkrat. They're going for the counter turn-in to get the push, and I mean, you know, who cares about the boss? Look at mid and bot lane. Although Zul's going to be able to clean these up, the Web Weaver's coming in another 19 seconds before Tyrande spawns, but the Web Weavers take quite a bit to do so. So let's see if TIAA just goes completely defensive with this Web Weaver phase, or if they're actually going to try to make something happen once Tyrande comes up here.
I mean, my honest opinion is I hate having to trade out all my gems just to stop a boss. So I think this play actually is going to strongly favor Ball Breaker Reborn by the end of the day, as they still have gems on hand, and there's not very many, if any at all, on hand right now for TIAA. They got to find picks, they got to find kills, and they got to find a way to make something happen with this top lane. The Web Weaver's still about half health, and they're going to push along with it, potentially looking to get down one second keep of the game, but both teams now level 20, and with it, really the next team fight might determine our winner.
And I think it's anybody's fight. I really don't think the TIAA has a gigantic advantage coming into this. That Web Weaver has little to no HP unless they can really get a huge pick, and they understand that that's the case. I was going to say, if they really push in and force on this, they do not have an advantage, but now they're sitting down about 40 gems. It's the opposite situation that they were in before. They were up on levels, they were up on gems, they sort of had all the control that they needed. They do still have a keep advantage, which is gonna be good, but Zool just manages to back and clear that wave very quickly whenever he has to. Whether they can force Zool to do so and then force a lopsided team fight, I think that's what TIAA is looking to do, although they can win the straight up team fight too.
So Shot making some aggressive rotations through this turn-in spot. Now we got a little fight breaking out at mid. Shot trying to find this Malthael. Corgi's going to slow a Mexicano though, able to walk back to safety, and yet another attempt from TIAA is unfruitful here at mid, but they still have this Bruiser camp pushing along with 2 catapults, but really they just gotta find a way to get gems. The lanes are so pushed out on the blue side of the map that they're having to play very aggressive just to find the gems, and now with 67 on hand, you're looking at Ball Breaker Reborn with an opportunity to get their own turn in. And, you know, at this point in the game, really, anytime you can get these Web Weavers out, it's always a threat to finish the game. Of course, you're looking to get at least one of the keeps down if you're BBR, but you got to make it first to this turning point, and you got to succeed with this Zool comp to make it happen.
Yeah, I think that if Ballbreaker wants to make something happen, they got to catch Treebeard out, or perhaps Legacy. But again, we've just proven in the last 2 games, Treebeard does not make it his practice to be caught out, to be positioned, somewhere that's dangerous. So it's kind of like this game has to end on a fight. Basically right now, BBR is going to look for the turn in, or they could. They have to force a fight either way, and TIAA just has to make sure they defend. So boss is up in 130. I imagine it's going to culminate in a fight on the boss, but there has been a lot of poking back and forth here, because I just don't see TIAA's ability to get enough gems to turn in. It's just not going to happen. There's going to have to be a fight at some point.
Old Miracle just got his 18 gems in, so that's one on the checklist of all these heroes. I gotta get him in, but oh, the big turnaround, and Malthael is deleted. Here comes that consumed souls, but it's not gonna do nearly anything. Complete waste of an ult there. Corgi Booty getting stunned by the lunar flare. Portal bringing everyone back to safety. I want to check the timer on our boss right now, because that's really the one thing that they could be looking at, but I think we're still about a minute away. 50 seconds is the timer, as there is the returning Malthael. He did take, of course, No One Can Stop Death at level 20, so he's back on the field, and without his gems, I think they were picked up by Giant RT. He's the one trying to channel them in right now, and I don't think he's going to be stopped. It's going to be 30. Oh, no, barely stopped that time by Tyrande.
Well, what happened in the last fight was Giant RT tried to get the turn in. I think it was intentional that Mexicano was so far forward. They knew he had No One Can Stop Death. Problem with that is now his next respawn is increased by 25%. We're post level 20 here. You're looking at a 70+ second respawn. If he gets taken out, he takes quite a bit of damage. Here comes the Riptire looking for him. Alexis now in a bad position. And like I said, the Malthael took too much damage early. He knows he can't die. The Lunar Flare connecting onto Kronos. And I think that TIAA is going to try to force on the back end of this. We do have web weavers that might prevent the game from ending right now, but all these waves are so far forward. It's looking like TIAA is going to force onto the top keep and then probably look for a game. 46 seconds on to Medivh. So we only have Stukov, Malthael, and who's our last member that's up here?
Yeah, so I mean, that fight just shows why Lunara taking Leaping Strikes is always a risk, and now with Stukov down, that's a staggered death, 60 seconds until he respawns. This is looking more and more like TIAA are ready to push in to win their third match of the night, but they're going to back up. Boss is available after these web weavers expire. Is that the play they want? Were they just setting up a boss play for that top lane? They should have a lot of gems. I don't think they have quite enough for the 65 needed. But Junkrat can use that Ripper Air around the map to clear out bot, to clear out mid. Blaze posturing up top, thinking about the boss, but I mean, now you got Malthael back up. Only hero still dead is Stukov, and an opportunity to move on to that core, seemingly wasted here by TIAA. Now they got to make a play for another turn-in, and with Stukov down for 18 seconds, that's about all the time they're going to have to get any sort of free chance at it.
Yeah, they do have the turn-in, and Lunar and Malthael have proven to be really annoying in the interruption of that, but Shot does not have a lot of the gems, which is going to be a big advantage for them. Shot can just play extremely far forward. Lunar getting caught. That is going to be a Lunar Flare connecting onto her. Consume Souls is coming out, not quite enough to finish her up, but oh wow, the Owl gets the kill. Just kidding, by the way. And now it's looking like that's going to be the turn-in. So staggered deaths by TIAA. Just plays on plays on plays. Mechanical skill from this team. Just really, I mean, earning these wins tonight.
Yeah, so seemingly this should be it. Lunara down for 40 seconds. Webweaver spawning for your red team. Junkrat's going to clear up the top lane, make sure that's pushing up as quick as possible. But this team's looking to go right down mid. Marching right now on top of Stukov. He's slowed by all that oil, which does so much now. And that's going to be another big pickup. Giant RT's down as well. Zool is dead. No One Can Stop Death brings Malthael back again. But I mean, any other hero dies here, it is absolutely game over. And Stukov flailing swipe's going to keep him alive, but that just might be enough. You got catapults coming top. Catapults here at mid, that's 3 of them. Webweaver on this core. Bunkers down. Huge silence from Stukov, however. But Fear. Another win. TIAA moving on to the finals here tonight in our HeroesHype Amateur Series week number 108.
Jeez, I mean, what a game. I'd like to make a public service announcement right now. I think the camera's probably back on us. Look at me. Hey, look, it's me, your boy Fear. Take Tyrande away from Legacy, because that boy is dirty. The Lunar Flare's coming in time after time after time. Not to take away from anyone else on that team, because Shot on Blaze, please! Woo! That was scary stuff. The bunkers, the jet propulsions, just that initial kill where he timed the jet propulsion onto the portal. I could watch that all day, every day. Just absolutely beautiful.